Welcome back to Harmonized Spirits. I am Christopher Wolfingspirit. In our first 6 transmissions, we mapped the multidimensional tree of the cosmos, dismantled the illusions of the false light matrix, and established the operational codes of the sovereign practitioner. Today, we are opening the most guarded vault of our lineage. We are stepping out of the modern Western spiritual framework entirely and anchoring our consciousness into the royal, high-tech metaphysics of ancient Kemet. Today, we are talking about Egyptian pharmacology and the architecture of the Duat. In mainstream history and surface-level spirituality, people treat Egyptian mythology like a collection of primitive fairy tales about animal-headed gods and superstitious burial rituals. They view the Duat, the Egyptian underworld, as a poetic destination for the dead. But true initiates know that Kemet was not a civilization of myth. It was a civilization of supreme cosmic science. The ancient masters did not separate spirituality from physics, biology, or even chemistry. They understood that the universe is a unified field of intelligence, and they mapped the human body as a living temple that perfectly mirrors the cosmos. When they spoke of the Duat, they were not talking about a cave in the dirt. They were mapping the unseen, multidimensional pathways of the human nervous system and the subconscious mind. When they spoke of pharmacology, they weren't just talking about boiling plants. They were talking about the precise alchemy of altering human biology through energy, frequency, and breath. Today, we are going to strip away the historical distortions and look at the actual technical mechanics of Egyptian yoga, how to navigate the 12 gates of the Duat within your own body, and how to activate your spiritual pharmacology to unlock supreme cellular sovereignty. To understand Egyptian metaphysics, we must first redefine the Duat. In the ancient text of the Duat, the Book of the Hidden Chamber, the journey of the sun god Ra through the underworld is divided into 12 distinct hours or gates. Each gate presents a specific challenge, a specific entity, and a specific energetic calibration that must be mastered before the sun can be reborn at dawn. As a sovereign architect, you need to understand that this text is a literal, technical manual for nervous system regulation and spiritual ascension. The 12 hours of the Duat represent the 12 primary pathways of your cranial nerves and the deep instinctual layers of your brainstem. The monsters, the serpents, and the guardians at each gate are not external demons. They are the somatic imprints of your unintegrated trauma, your ancestral survival codes, and your instinctual fear responses. When you enter a state of deep meditation or when you practice traditional hieratic postures, what many people call Egyptian yoga, you are actively sending your consciousness down into the Duat of your own flesh and body. Most ungrounded practitioners hit the first or second hour of the Duat, encounter the heavy static of their own nervous system's survival threat, panic, and immediately exit. They call it a bad meditation or an anxiety attack. But the ancient Egyptian masters taught us that you cannot bypass the dark hours if you want the gold of the sunrise. You must know the precise names, frequencies, and vocal codes known as Heka to calibrate your biology, soothe the vagus nerve, and command the forces at each gate to let you pass. To navigate these gates successfully, the ancient priest did not rely on silent thought alone. They utilized the exact royal science of Heka. In mainstream circles, Heka is translated loosely as Egyptian magic. But in our lineage, we know that Heka is the technical application of focused intent married to precise vocal and acoustic resonance. The universe is a vibrating web of strings, and sound is the geometric laser that cuts through the density of the physical matrix. When you activate words of power or specific toning frequencies within the duat of your own body, you are not performing a religious chant. You are deploying acoustic architecture. Look at the biology. Your physical body is composed of over 70% water. The water molecules within your cells and your cerebrospinal fluid act as a living liquid crystal grid. When you are trapped in trauma or middle world static, that water becomes chaotic, disorganized, and/or stagnant. It literally cannot hold a high vibrational current. When we introduce the precise resonance of Heka, whether it is spoken aloud as a booming seismic vibration or compressed internally as a silent, pressurized friction breath, the sound waves pass directly through the bone marrow and the fluid matrix of your flesh. It forces the disorganized water molecules to instantly snap back into perfect, sacred, geometric alignment. It creates what physics call coherent resonance. Furthermore, these acoustic frequencies act as a direct physical keyboard for your vagus nerve. By vibrating the back of the throat and the soft palate in specific rhythms, you send a direct electrical message to your heart and your visceral organs. You are bypassing the analytical ego completely. You are using sound to command the nervous system to drop its armor, dismantle its survival loops, and open the hidden vaults of the brainstem. Without this acoustic calibration, you are trying to pick a lock with a hammer. But when you understand the science of Heka, you hold the acoustic key to every single gate in the cosmos. Let's look at how this acoustic alignment ignites your internal pharmacy. This brings us to the profound science of spiritual pharmacology. In modern medicine, pharmacology is a study of how external chemical substances alter the body's functions. But the priest of Kemet understood that the human body is its own supreme pharmacy. Your brain, your endocrine glands, and your cells are hardwired to produce the most powerful, high vibrational chemicals in existence, including endogenous DMT, phenyltryptamines, and advanced neurotransmitters that can instantly repair DNA and alter your state of consciousness. And the engine room of this pharmacy is your mitochondria, the microscopic power plants inside your cells that generate your body's vital life force, or what the ancient Egyptians called the Ka. When your system is trapped in the middle world chaos or bogged down by lineage shadows, your mitochondria go into a state of cellular defense. They shut down the production of spiritual chemistry and shift into survival mode. Your energy crashes, your mind fogs, and your spiritual channel becomes impotent. In our hybrid lineage, we use the precision of Reiki symbols combined with the breathwork of Egyptian science to reverse this process. We treat the Reiki frequencies as specific electromagnetic instructions that target the cellular matrix. By channeling the universal life force into specific glandular centers while holding precise, silent, hieratic postures, we jumpstart the mitochondria. We pull the cells out of defense mode and force them back into creative overflow. You are actively secreting your own spiritual pharmacology. You are using the universal light to change the literal chemistry of your blood, turning your physical biology into an unshakable fortress that can hold the massive voltage of your true spiritual lineage. Let me pull back the curtain and walk you through what it looks like to actively practice this royal science within your own daily alignment. Let's look at the transition into the 6th hour of the Duat, the absolute 0 point of the night, where the sun god must unite with the body of Osiris to achieve rebirth. Imagine sitting in your sacred space. The room is dead silent, free of any background music or external distractions, allowing your breath to act as the sole rhythmic guide for your nervous system. You establish your 3-point alignment. You drop your weight into the earth seed, ignite the solar pillar, and open the crown gateway. Now you shift your physical body into a traditional hieratic posture, the posture of a Asar. Your spine is perfectly straight, your shoulders are dropped, and your hands are placed precisely over your heart and solar plexus, forming a closed, superconducting circuit of energy. You begin the Heka activation. You do not chant loudly. You breathe with a deep, compressed, silent oceanic friction in the back of your throat. With every inhale, you visualize the universal life force flowing down through your crown, through your Reiki coordinates, and pulling directly into your brain stem. In the unseen dimension, your consciousness is stepping through the 6th gate of the Duat. The somatic static of your past trauma begins to rise. You feel a sudden warmth in your chest, a tightness in your throat, a phantom wave of old anxiety trying to trigger your nervous system. This is the guardian of the gate testing your sovereignty. Instead of breaking the posture or running away into mental stories, you hold the structural alignment. You use your palms to channel high-degree Reiki energy directly into your vagus nerve. You slowly exhale to an exact 8-second count, instructing your amygdala that you are completely safe in the dark. Suddenly, the biological threshold is crossed. The guardian dissolves. Your mitochondria release a massive surge of cellular energy. A profound, cool wave of stillness floods your entire spinal column as your pineal gland secretes its sacred chemistry. Your physical body feels as heavy and permanent as a granite pyramid, while your consciousness expands into absolute cosmic clarity. You have navigated the deepest hour of the night, and you have rewritten your cellular code from the inside out. Well, let's do a diagnostic check on your spiritual pharmacology and your alignment with the royal science. Look closely at your daily biology and see if you are operating in a state of cellular subservience. First, look at your response to the dark. When you sit in complete silence, without music, guided tracks, or external stimulation, does your nervous system redline? If an hour of silent meditation or posture work leaves you feeling frantically anxious or desperately bored, your consciousness is trapped at the first gate of the Duat. Your ego is terrifying you to keep you from entering the deeper vaults of your biology. Second, look at your physical stamina. Do you rely on external stimulants like excessive caffeine, sugar, or biohacking supplements just to maintain your daily energetic baseline? If your Ka, your vital life force, collapses the moment you take away external inputs, your spiritual pharmacology is offline. Your mitochondria are asleep on the job. Third, look at your intellectualization. Do you spend hours reading about Egyptian or any other forms of mysteries, studying the names of the gods and collecting books, while your actual daily physical practice is non-existent? If yes, you are treating Kemet or any other system as a mental playground. You are collecting maps, but never stepping onto the terrain. True mastery is not information, it is embodiment. If your cells aren't changing, your spirituality is just a rumor. As we close this 7th transmission, I leave you with this heavy contemplation. Are you ready to stop playing on the surface of spirituality and step into the royal, physical science of your ancestors? Are you ready to face the dark hours of your own Duat, calibrate your nervous system, and activate the supreme pharmacy within your own blood? The temples of Kemet were not built for followers. They were built to train gods. If you are ready to move past the entry-level energy work and master the advanced, flawless synthesis of Reiki shamanic architecture and Egyptian metaphysics, your initiation is calling. The doors to our Reiki shamanism initiation open this August 8th, 2026. This is where we take the elite practitioners, the trackers, and the sovereign architects and put them through the alchemical fire to claim their true cosmic inheritance. Click the link in the show notes below and step inside the Harmonized Spirits community right now. I am Christopher Wolfingspirit. Thank you for walking through the hidden chambers of the flesh with me today. Until next time, stand in your sovereignty.